Hey everyone, it's Rod Santomassimo with the Massimo Show. And we have a first-time guest to the Massimo Show, and you cannot wait to hear what this amazing guest has to share. She is the author of the amazing book, The Barefoot Executive, the ultimate guide to being your own boss and achieving financial freedom. And commercial real estate, isn't that what we all want? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome me, please, Mrs. Carrie Wilkerson. Hey guys, it's Rod Santomassimo, and I got great news for you. I have taken the lessons of the last 30 years, all the conferences I went to, and I packaged the best of the best aspects and even plussed it in a conference we're calling Massimo Con. It is going to share with you and give you direct access to 9, 7, and 8-figure producers, some amazing keynote speakers, and so much more. Oh, it's a live 2-day event in Dallas on November 2nd and 3rd. You've got to be there if you're dedicated to making sure you get in position to dominate CRE in 2023. Massimo Con is on, baby. You've got to get there. Check our social posts, check our website for your information. And yes, get there because there's only a limited number of seats left. Hope to see you at Massimo Con. Hi, this is Rod Santomassimo, and welcome to the Massimo Show. The objective of the Massimo Show is to share how you can maximize your personal, professional margin. That's right. Let's make more money in less time. Let's turn chaos into clarity, confusion into confidence, and income into real wealth. Along with sharing my insight on how I grew a multi-million-dollar professional business, we're going to bring you the expert advice from a variety of authors, consultants, and thought leaders who will provide the tools you need to maximize your own personal and professional margin. Welcome to the Massimo Show. Carrie?
Hey, how are you, Rod?
I am doing well, Ms. Wilkerson. How are you today?
I'm good.
Carrie, I'm always transparent with my audience. Guys, I always talk about how much I invest in myself in coaching. Carrie's one of my coaches.
Yep. True story.
True story. So every time I lay the hammer on my clients, I want to tell you, it's nothing compared to what Carrie lays on me.
To the Southern Hammer. That's right. That's right.
Carrie, let's get to know you. So the first question I always ask, which can throw you off, and people go, why that question? What was Carrie like in high school?
Oh, gosh. Not popular. Always not quite fit in, but very checking off the boxes, parent pleasing. I was an almost straight A student. I was 7th in my class. I was in show choir and theater. And this will surprise you. I was in the marching band. I was also the drum major of the marching band, because why be in it if you can't be in charge of it? I was the president of the Business Professionals of America, even though I had no intention of being in business, ironically. I lived on the outskirts of town, and that's back when long distance phone calls cost money. So I was kind of disconnected because it cost me money to talk to my friends. And so I did not have like a super busy social life. That was basically it. I was an achiever. I was well liked by my teachers. I was good in class. I was a performer. I was doing what I thought I was supposed to be doing in the way that I thought it was supposed to be done.
We can't say past tense for I was a performer, because you still are a performer.
Yeah, but for different reasons, for the right reasons now. I perform for me now. I'm not performing for anybody's approval now. I'm performing more for the message now than just to be validated. Back then, it was a whole different thing. It was performance to be noticed, or performance to be heard or seen or entertained. And now it's more because I love it. And I've learned that through performance and speaking and writing, and that I can have more impact than if I just keep it to myself. So it's not as much about the validation as it is the transformation for others, honestly.
I couldn't agree more about the transformation. We both live in that world. So Carrie, how does someone you said yourself, you can't say you were quiet or shy given everything you were doing in high school, but now you've developed this amazing persona of really being a leader and having a strong message. And one of your messages of all you have so many messages, and we can't dive into how deep Carrie is, how amazing she is on this call, but you wrote a book called The Barefoot Executive, and this idea of being your own boss is no truer today than when you wrote the book. I know when you wrote the book, I think it was 2010, 2011, coming out of the Great Recession, being a boss was a great idea, but now it seems today everyone wants to be their own boss. We talk about Massimo, build the business and life you desire. which I think is consistent with your message. So what are some of those pillars of building this life and being the boss and creating financial freedom?
One of the first things I talk about is I don't believe in building around what you're passionate about doing. I don't care if you're passionate about what you're doing. I think that's a little bit entitled. I do believe we need to be passionate about who we do it for and who we serve. So I had a multi-million-dollar newsletter publishing company, desktop publishing, back in the day. And I was not passionate about newsletters or desktop publishing. I was sitting behind a computer for hours and hours and hours. And you know me, and I'm people charged. And so that was not it. But I was passionate about getting us out of debt, retiring my husband so he could have some career options, being home with all 4 kids until, well, I'm still home with all 4 kids. So they're the ones that leave now, not me. So I believe in building around your skill set, your space, your education, and what the market needs, and become passionate about either who you serve or what opportunities it provides for your family. Instead of saying, oh, I'm passionate about pie, I should have a pie business or do recipes or a blog. That's not always your fastest to money. It's not always your most impact. And I promise you, even if you do that, you're going to hate pies very soon. You won't be passionate about them always. So that's one thing that we talk about is you have to know who you serve. You have to know what your skill set and what you offer them. And business is nothing more than an exchange of time, energy, or skill set or product for money. That's all it is. So whether you own a daycare or clean somebody's house or mow their lawn or balance their books or do their taxes, business is business is business. It's the exchange of one thing for currency of another. And I think we have to take it right back down to brass tacks because people overcomplicate it.
Love that. Love that. So how does passion fit? And as I shared, you coach me and you coach hundreds of others across the world. Is that a block? What holds a lot of folks back then? What you find in your coaching, is there any common theme that holds folks back?
Comfort zone and complacency. We are really, really comfortable, especially in the United States. We are really, really comfortable being uncomfortable. We're really comfortable being 30 pounds overweight. We're really comfortable being 30,000 in debt. We're really comfortable carrying student loans. We're really comfortable figuring our life based on payments and not on assets. We're really comfortable with the discomfort that we've created for ourselves. And it's not until we get desperate that we seek to make a change. So I think that people love to be in a strive mode. There's this badge of honor in striving. Oh, I want to have a business someday. Someday I plan to. And I don't know about your calendars, but I have never, ever seen a calendar that had a someday on it. You have to pick a date. You have to start. And people are waiting until the kids go to school or waiting until they have a better body or waiting until they have kids or waiting until they're married or waiting until they're divorced or waiting until their degree or waiting until they've paid off their degree. They're waiting and they're waiting for circumstances to be right. They're waiting for the market to correct itself. They're waiting for there to be no wars, no famine, no pandemic, no conflict. That's never going to happen, you guys. Never going to happen. So you have to stop waiting and find something that you're uncomfortable enough with that you're ready to change it.
You said something, and folks, I wrote it down because I'll be saying that. I remind my entire team of that. I've never seen a calendar with someday on it.
Have you? There's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but never someday. You cannot make an appointment for someday.
I gotta write that down. You cannot, guys, you only make an appointment for Sunday.
True or true?
I love it. Okay, so Carrie, our folks are transactional in nature,
yeah,
right?
Real estate. I love real estate.
Right. So commercial real estate brokers, either they're negotiating leases, they're negotiating a sale of a property, or mortgage brokers, they're negotiating the financing of property. And we try to really stress to our clients, get off that transaction treadmill, start working on your business, do these things. But what's a mindset or a practice you can share on those that are transaction oriented? What's the problem? How can help them?
Well, there is no problem being transaction oriented. I mean, that's necessary. We know a lot of people that are so busy working on their business, they forget to go do the transactions. So I don't want to shame anybody for doing transactions. Listen, work your ass off. I'm good with it. Get the money, get the contracts. But you either need to hire somebody to be working on the business, or you need to set aside some time for it. So if it sounds painful to you, or you think you cannot take away from your deal time or your money time, then what I would say is make it golf or fishing. And what I mean by that is if you really were into golf or fishing or whatever the hobby might be, you would put some time on the calendar for it. Maybe Saturday morning from 8 to 12. because everybody knows when you play golf, it's half a day, right? It's half a day minimum, unless you're really bad. And then you might just go ahead and block out the full day. But let's just say half a day. Let's make you a scratch golfer and give you half a day. So I would say that you set aside that time, you make the appointment, the tea time with yourself. You show up with your equipment that you need in order to make that time productive and valuable. And then for 4 hours, you go from hole to hole to hole to hole, and you work on your numbers, or you work on your admin, or you create some systems, or you do something else. And then when it's done, clean up your clubs, put them back in the bag and put them in the closet, knowing that you can make a tea time for next week or in 2 weeks if you need to. But when you're becoming a better golfer, you don't play 10 minutes every day or try to fit it just in the cracks. You have to set aside the time to work on your swing, to work on your putting, to figure the clubs out, and to get to the course. So I would say make it golf and have a block of time a week, Saturday morning before everybody else gets up, Friday afternoon when everybody else has already phoned it in because they deserve the long weekend. I would say earn your long weekend instead of deserving your long weekend. Earn it. Earn it by putting some time in. Yeah, earn it instead of rewarding yourself first. I call every Friday Follow-Up Friday. Now on my calendar it says FU Friday, but really it's a good day. It's Follow-Up Friday, and it's when I'm sending thank you notes, wrapping up systems, writing a new email, returning phone calls, making decisions, cleaning off my virtual as well as my physical desk, because so many other people have just clocked out already because they deserve the long weekend or because they work for themselves and they're flexible. Well, great. I am too afternoon, but I knock out more on half a day on Friday than most other entrepreneurs do the whole week because they have that deserved morning off. Well, I guarantee you I feel less guilty over the whole weekend and my systems are running better because it's my golf. Right? I have my tea time and I show up and I put the work in on the systems or hire somebody to do it. But even if you hire somebody, you're still going to have to train them and you're still going to have to direct them. You can delegate, but you cannot abdicate. So you have to have some work on the business or you're just closing, writing contracts your whole life with never any process or knowing your numbers or knowing if you need to up your transactional deals, change zip codes or what you need to do. You've got to have some time to be able to really look at your numbers, dissect your business, know your stats and know what to do with them.
Well, if anyone that knows what to do with them, it's Carrie Wilkerson, because she is a master on being the boss and creating and achieving financial freedom. Carrie, how do people initially hear more about, how can you get more of Carrie today?
I have a YouTube channel. It's Carrie Wilkerson. Just type it into search and you can find me on any social platform under Carrie, spelled the Stephen King way. Carrie Wilkerson, Kerson, Wilkerson. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the spaces. I'm there. And then also, I think I'm going to meet him in person in November. Am I right?
That's
Coming
right.
to Texas.
We have an amazing keynote speaker. And yes, Carrie Wilkerson herself is coming to Massimo Con, the position to dominate CRE in 2023. And she'll be sharing much more on how you can, and you yourself can build that business and life you always desired. Carrie, I can't thank you enough for your time on the Massimo Show, and I cannot wait to see you in November.
I'm excited. I'll be there.
Okay. Hey, everyone else, Carrie just dropped a lot of knowledge on you, but you know what we say at Massimo, knowing isn't doing. So knowledge is great. Implementation is always better. Until next time, this is Rod Santomassimo with The Massimo Show.
I want to thank you for listening to this version of The Massimo Show. And please go out and share this with your friends, your colleagues. Heck, share it with your dog. Just share it. And more importantly, just give me some feedback, good, bad, or indifferent. We all grow from understanding what our audience wants to hear. So until next time, this is Rod Santomassimo with The Massimo Show.